Hi, I'm Paul Graham, and I'm a real estate agent. I live in Swansea, Massachusetts. I'm licensed in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. I'm also licensed in Florida. But today, I wanted to dive into my hometown. And I've lived in Swansea, Massachusetts for almost 40 years. So obviously, that's my hometown. But I don't want, imaginary lines around the town, to stop me from thinking of the other towns as also part of my hometown, because it's part of my childhood, part of growing up, part of my adulthood. The town's right next door to Swansea, like, Seekonk, Massachusetts, Somerset, Massachusetts, Dayton, Rehoboth, Berkeley, then in Rhode Island, which is closer than even some of those towns in Massachusetts. We got Warren, Rhode Island, Bristol, Rhode Island, Barrington, Rhode Island, and then also, I've worked in a lot of places throughout Massachusetts, like Raynham and, Plymouth and Fairhaven, and, I'm not going to name everywhere I've worked and everywhere I've been, but there's a lot of towns that I know well, but there's no town that I know better than Swansea, Massachusetts. So my hometown, I'm going to consider it the surrounding towns, but for this video, I'm going to dive solely into Swansea, Massachusetts. And it all started here, for the Grahams, with my grandfather. So, he bought a house. It was 1949, 1950, around there. He had a little farm, and then he had children. And what he ended up doing is he ended up dividing up some of the land and gave some land to his children. So he had two sons. He gave, half on one side of his house to one son, gave the other half to his other son, who happened to be my father. And then, we had a daughter also who I believe he just gave maybe comparable monetary value to her, as what he had given to his two sons. So his three children were, given equal shares into, his property for, later on, when he was no longer with us. He gave it before that, so we got to enjoy the land, while my grandfather was still here. So, that's kind of how it began for us. So my whole childhood was Swansea. There's so many things I remember growing up as a kid. I loved growing up here. I remember going to the Swansea Mall, hanging out at Just Fun, calling on the payphones for, 10 cents to have, my mom come pick me up. Friday nights at the mall, that was a thing to do back in the day. There was a lot of cool things in Swansea. One of the first elementary schools I went to, Mason Barney, it's not even there anymore. It's knocked down. But a lot of cool things, a lot of history here, doing my Christmas shopping at Caldor in the Swansea Mall. I remember Stewart's and then Building 19 later. Even Kmart was in that plaza. But anyway, I'll get into all that stuff later. But just a lot of history here in Swansea. The purpose of this video is I just want people to get a sense of what's it like to live in Swansea. What's it like to live here? What's it like to drive down the roads? What do we have for stores and shopping centers and restaurants in Swansea? How does it feel to live in Swansea? So also we'll dive in, to the schooling. So if you have children and stuff, you want to know a little bit about the schooling, what they look like, a little information on that. That's all going to be in this video. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you watch it. At the very end, I'm going to have like just music that's just going to show, driving through the roads and stuff. But before that, we're going to dive into everything Swansea has to offer. Hopefully you get some value and see kind of what it's like to live here. So here's Swansea on the map. And one great thing about Swansea is that it comes with Massachusetts. And if you didn't watch my top 5 reasons to live in Massachusetts video, I highly recommend watching that because it highlights so many great things that come with living in Massachusetts. In that video, I talk about, just jump in the car and go sometimes. Don't overthink it. Enjoy some music, conversations, and boom, before you know it, you're at your destination. I also talk in that video about the concept that with Massachusetts, you also get New England and all the cool things that come along with living in New England. So watch that video, check out those top 5 reasons because they apply also to Swansea, but on a bigger scale. So now into Swansea. And in Swansea, we have 3 major roads that have the majority of the businesses, the retail stores, the shopping centers, food establishments, things like that. Right here we have Route 6, which is also called GAR Highway. And this is probably the main road that runs through Swansea. And then also over here we have Wilbur Avenue, which is also called Route 103, which kind of runs parallel to Route 6, but it kind of runs on the southern side of Swansea, in the Ocean Grove area. And then also over here we have Swansea Mall Drive, which is adjacent to Route 6. And all these roads, they're not too far from each other. Swansea's not that large of a town overall. It only takes about 13 minutes to drive on Route 6, from one end of Swansea to the other end of Swansea, depending on some of the traffic lights you might hit. Swansea's only about 22 square miles. We have about 16,000 residents here. So here's Route 6 here. And as I had mentioned, this is one of the major roads. And this road, besides taking the highway, is going to be the fastest way to get from Somerset to Seekonk. And as you can see right there on the right, that's a Dunkin' Donuts and O'Reilly Auto Parts Plaza, which I will get to. And coming up here is, the highway. You got 195 East right here on the right, and then 195 West will be up on the left. But anyway, Route 6, if you keep going straight down here, it'll take you to Somerset. And if you go the opposite direction, it'll take you to Seekonk. And those two towns, they have similar businesses on one aspect, like there's a Stop and Shop in each one and a Home Depot in each one. But if you were to, if all you need to do is go to Home Depot or Stop and Shop, I would recommend just going straight down this road and heading to Somerset. Because there's going to be less traffic lights as opposed to Seekonk. But Seekonk has more shopping centers and retail stores. So if you're going to run errands and you need to make a few different stops, then Seekonk is probably a better option. So it's just a matter of what you need to get done at that time. So there's 195 West there on the left. And then we're going to be approaching the intersection that goes to Swansea Mall Drive, which I spoke about. And then over here on the right is Milford Plaza, which I'll dive into that in a little bit. But you see an AT&T, you see a Shell station, just different businesses on this road. Here's the left. That takes you to Swansea Mall Drive. But we're going to stay on Route 6. And then you got a Firestone, you got Friendly's, you got Monroe. So you have different, auto places. There's a brand new plaza there on the left. Hasn't been open too long. There's Verizon. So we got Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile right here. Then we got a gas station. Then we got Burger King there on the left. That had been closed for many years, and it's just reopening. Depending on when this video is released, it may or may not be open yet, but it's very close to being open right now. Then we have Wendy's over here on the right. We have a Hoi Tin Chinese restaurant. And then over here on the left, that's the Target Plaza. And that is, probably one of the busiest, if not the busiest, shopping plazas in Swansea. And here's a look at it from the outside, looking in. And here's a look inside at the Target Plaza. This is one of the main, if not the main, shopping plazas, in Swansea. We got Target, we got Marshalls, we got Five Guys. They just put in a Jersey Mike's. There's all kinds of things here. McDonald's, not sure if I mentioned that. That's behind me. But I remember, when they demolished the old shopping center. I remember coming and watching, the wrecking ball come and just knock it down. But it's beautiful now. The old one had Stewart's and Almax, but the buildings themselves were just very dated. So it was nice that they knocked this down and built brand new buildings, and this whole parking lot's been redone. So this is a nice plaza, very busy. As you can see, the light just turned green, but it's usually very busy over there coming in and out of this plaza. And then we have one of the newer plazas. We have O'Reilly Auto Parts. We have a Dunkin' Donuts, one of, I believe, 5 now, right here in Swansea. And then we have a nail salon and a jewelry store. Yeah, so we have 2 Cumberland Farms in Swansea. We have one right here on Route 6, and on the other road we talked about, Wilbur Avenue, we have another Cumberland Farms. And I love Cumberland Farms. This is where I get my gas. And this is a great intersection over here. You got CVS behind me. You got McDonald's right back there. Keep moving. We got Shell Station over there with the Season Store. So pretty cool. And then another Dunkin' Donuts, like we just talked about, right behind me over here. And then the highway is right down there. You can get on 195 East, 195 West. So this is one of the more popular intersections in Swansea. And now we have several car dealerships, like brand new car dealerships like Toyota. We have Kia right down the road, also on Route 6. Right on Route 6. And then we have several used car dealerships as well. And this is Wilbur Avenue, also known as Route 103. And this is that road that's parallel to Route 6. But on the southern side of Swansea. And there's a Dunkin' Donuts, as you see here on this road. But this is the major road if you live on this side of town. Not that the two roads are that far apart. They're not really that far apart, but this is just more convenient for people that live down here. You have Swansea Mart convenience store that we just passed by, Sunoco gas station, and if you take this left here, it takes you to Ocean Grove. And then this is the Wilbur Avenue side of Swansea. There's a lot of little plazas like this. This one has Hairworks Salon. It has Greenlight Solar. Across the street, we have, the other Cumberland Farms that I referenced. We got banks, we got St. Anne's Credit Union, we got Bay Coast, we have, pizza place. We have all different things on this road. A pharmacy, different things that you might need right on this side of town. And this is that third road that I spoke about, Swansea Mall Drive. And as you can see, there's just more shopping centers, more retail stores and different things over here, on the right-hand side. We got jewelry stores, we got a Subway, we got music store, Ray Mullen Music. Then coming up here, there's going to be Bike Works, which is a nice bicycle store. And then, we got the Interstate, the battery store. And then over here is the plaza with Big Lots. So this is another great shopping center in Swansea. We got Tractor Supply, we got Namco, we got Yankee Spirits, Big Lots, Lumber Liquidators. There's a trampoline park in here. So another great option for shopping right here in Swansea. And then across the street, is the reason why it's called the Swansea Mall Drive. Because, obviously this is the location where the Swansea Mall was. And the Swansea Mall, that was a big deal in the town. I remember my father telling me, what it was like when they were originally building the Swansea Mall, and how exciting that it was, that they were building a mall right here in Swansea. And that mall ran its course, was a very popular mall, and then just kind of, slowed out, died out kind of, as a lot of malls unfortunately have been doing. But this is the update that they've been doing to the mall. They're doing a brand new development. And it's been zoned for different things. It's been zoned for some residential, retail. There's not a lot of new updates as far as what's going on in the mall for exact stores and different things. But this is exciting. So, and you can see, obviously I don't have the before pictures, but if you were driving by the mall before, you would see, what a difference they've been doing, rehabbing the mall and redeveloping it. And they've done a lot of work to it. And, it's going to be very exciting, to see it when it's all finished, because it's looking amazing so far, just driving around the mall here. And then right down the road from here on Route 6, there's another brand new development. As you can see here, this is the Silverstone Castle and Family Entertainment. And this is going to be like a medieval themed venue. It's supposed to have an indoor swimming pool, an arcade game room, go-karts, rock climbing. They're supposed to have food in there. So this is looking pretty amazing, pretty awesome. You can just see by the size of it. This thing's going to be very large, and it's going to be pretty awesome to have this in Swansea. So if you add this with the Swansea Mall development, a lot of cool up-and-coming things coming to Swansea. And then we have an interesting plaza over here, Milford Plaza. Now, this is on Route 6, but it's also kind of where the intersection is to Swansea Mall Drive. And the businesses that are in here, a lot of them have been here for years and years and years. Like Plaza Pizza behind me, that's been here since I was a little kid, since the 1980s. And I love their pizza. Their pepperoni pizza is like, one-of-a-kind pepperoni pizza. It's just different. It curls up in different things. And then, they have a lot of great food here. This place is always packed. Whenever I ordered food on a Friday night, there's always a line. I almost feel bad calling because the guys are always so busy running around in that place. But they got a tattoo parlor in here, a vacuum store. They got a, uniform store for, people that are professional services like police officers, correction officers, things like that, firefighters. So this, also Thai Taste, sorry. I don't want to leave out Thai Taste. That's been here for a long time. If you like Thai food, right here in Swansea, you got that too. There's other businesses in here that have been here a while. I'm not going to name every business in Swansea throughout this video. But this is a neat little plaza. Definitely check out Plaza Pizza. It's been here a long time. Excellent food here. And we actually have our own beach here. Let me go show you. Yeah, just check out the views over here. And we even got a little playground over here. My children, they love coming over here and playing on the playground, after we go to the beach. Yep, and then here's the parking lot here. You got the, the old school broken shells, and then you got the beach right here, this cool little walkway. And before you know it, we'll be on the beach. Too bad the sun's going to kind of be in our vision here, but hopefully it doesn't mess the video up too much. But yeah, it's not the biggest beach in the world, but hey, to have it right here in Swansea, it goes down pretty far. And you got the nice rock look and the playground right up there. So, pretty cool. We like it here. Like having our own town beach. Yeah, and then on Main Street, right next to the junior high school, we have the Swansea Dam. And this is just a great scenic location. You see a lot of wedding pictures here, prom pictures, different things. Right on Main Street. You can see the stream right there. The junior high school right behind me. Also, this is the road that they closed down, one day during Christmas, and we have our little Swansea Christmas celebration. Yeah, so right there, Joseph Case Junior High School. Used to be Joseph Case High School. I believe 1975 is when they built the new high school. But here's Main Street. And, like I had spoken about during Christmas, you can just walk down this street. There's a bunch of activities. It's just one day, one event they have, a nighttime event. But this is a very historical area of Swansea. And then as you walk past the junior high school, one of the fire stations is right here. So a lot of stuff right on this road. And then you can just see, you keep walking, get a nice sidewalk here. You want to go for a walk. Just nice area in Swansea. And then you keep walking further up and you got the town hall, and the library. And these are, very historic buildings. They're pretty cool. I love the architecture and the design. Yeah, and here's the Swansea Public Library. And just check out this building. And this building was built in 1899. It was dedicated in 1901 to Frank S. Stevens, who gave the land to Swansea, but unfortunately he passed away, right before the dedication. But just look at the architecture of the buildings, and then right next door is the town hall. So we're going to take a look at that one next. Yeah, so here's the Swansea town offices, and this one was built in 1890. And, just cool having these right in our town, side by side. You just get that historical feel, when you come visit over here on Main Street. And just backtracking to where we started, back at the Swansea Dam, just look at how beautiful the scenery is here. And as we had already discussed, you got the Joseph Case Junior High, but then also on this side, Frank S. Stevens School, which is not an operational school anymore. It's been closed for a long time. Now the Swansea School Department runs out of there. And then behind that is Brown School, which I'll show you real quick. Yeah, so here we are, the Swansea School Administration Building, which is the Frank S. Stevens School. And then behind me there's Brown School. So that's one of the elementary schools right here in Swansea. And then we also have Luther Elementary School. And I personally actually attended here. And my father attended here. So, obviously the school's been here a long time. And for my family, a lot of personal history at Luther Elementary School. And then we have Gardner Elementary School. So that brings us to Mark Hoyle Elementary School. And this is the newest school that was built in Swansea. And it kind of makes me feel old because I remember when I was young, they were just talking about building this school. And then I watched them build this school. And now you look at it and the building's already starting to look a little old. So it's making me feel a little old. But anyway, Mark Hoyle, it was dedicated to him. He was a student who unfortunately, in the 1980s contracted AIDS, through a blood transfusion. And back then, not a lot of people understood AIDS. And it was a big controversy in the town, whether to let Mark Hoyle, go to public schools, because a lot of parents were afraid, to have their children in the same classroom as Mark Hoyle. So eventually he was allowed to go to public schools. He was the first student, with the disease like that was allowed to go to public schools. So, that was a big deal in the town. And, that's where this school gets its name, and it was dedicated from. All right, that brings us to the high school, Joseph Case High School. And with me today, I have a special guest. I have my brother, Eric Graham. And he's been on the Swansea School Committee for how many years now?
It'll be 17 years in this April.
Wow, 17 years. So I did all my schooling here. So I know what it's like, in the 90s, the 80s, what it was like going to school here. But you've been doing it more recently, so you are more up to date, as far as how it runs. So, what can the Swansea parents expect, from the Swansea Public School system?
So we do have a 98.5% graduation rate, so they can certainly expect a high level of education. That rate is 17th highest in the state of Massachusetts. Also, we have a slogan that we live by: students come first. And so that starts with the teachers, the administrators, the school committee. Every decision that is made is with that in mind. How is this going to impact the students in a positive way?
Wow, awesome. Well said. What are some of the benefits and the accolades, that the Swansea Public School system brings?
So one really cool accolade we have is we have some what are called unified champion schools in Swansea, with a high school, junior high school, including we have the only unified junior high school in the state of Massachusetts, actually nationally. And that was actually just awarded to us last month. And what that is, basically, it's sports where disabled and non-disabled students are on the same teams, on the same fields, and competing against each other. So that is something that we are extremely proud of. Another cool thing that we have is there are plays. Our theater company has won a lot of national awards. And we also, not only just is it a great experience at the high school, but all the way down to the middle school and even elementary school students have the ability to participate in those. As you know, our niece Lauren and our nephew Mason, just this first year, were in their first play, The Little Mermaid. So there was
that was a good play. I actually came to see that. That was a good one. I was very impressed with the drama department with that.
Yeah, they have really just been consistently excellent for the past couple of decades, and it's just getting better and better, like I said, with the integration of kids from all of the schools.
So what makes Swansea different? Why Swansea? Why should they choose Swansea?
So I think one really special thing that a number of our schools do is we have programs where the students actually will give back to the community. Just earlier this month at one of our meetings, we had students coming to us about how they were packaging and distributing food from the Salvation Army to the homeless. And it really opened their eyes both on the difference that a single person can make, and it gave them more drive to further help the community going forward.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. And then lastly, what's the future for Swansea School Department? What's going to be happening in the next 5 to 10 years here?
So another thing recently, within the next 5 to 10 years, we just got invited by the MSBA, which is the Massachusetts School Building Authority, to be able to build a new school. They will reimburse us about 57.3%.
Wow.
It still has some more legal steps. We'd have to get a vote from the town on our portion of the funding. Some discussions on whether it's going to be a new junior high school, maybe a new junior high school complex. But that would provide an opportunity for state-of-the-art brand new school or schools, as well as the town just approved new library for $19 million, which is something that all of our students currently use. The one that we have right now, it's kind of inadequate, but that will be built within that same time frame.
It is a cool building, though. I love the look of the building now.
It's a cool look, but they designed it in a way that is going to keep a lot of that old school Swansea look and feel.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Eric. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. School committee, 17 years. My brother. All right. Glad that I had you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, here's the Swansea Little League fields behind me. I'll do a quick drive through so you can kind of see what it looks like in there. But these have been here for a long time. I used to play in these fields when I was a kid. And then on Route 6 in Swansea, we have Venus de Milo. And you can't come to Swansea without trying at least once in your lifetime the minestrone soup here. It's phenomenal. And then we also have the Aviary restaurant. And, this is a very highly rated restaurant. It looks very elegant. And as crazy as it sounds, all these years I've lived in Swansea, I've never been here. It is relatively new to the amount of time I've been in Swansea, but it's been here a long time. I've just never made the trip. So I figured I'm making this video about Swansea. What better time than to go check it out? So this is the first time I've been here, and I'm going to go check it out and see how it's like. All right, here it is. Fish and chips. Looks good. Yeah, so the food was excellent. Service was excellent. I definitely recommend the Aviary. And then we have the Gridiron. And the food here is just amazing. And if you didn't watch my top 5 places to eat in Massachusetts, then you missed the Gridiron, because it was in the top 5 places to eat in Massachusetts. And in that video, I show you what the food looks like. So definitely check out that video. And then we have Harvest Tap and Table, which is right behind me. And this is just like a bar/restaurant, and it's relatively new. It used to be here. It used to be Harvest Market, where you would just come in and, just buy. It was almost like a farmer's market. You could buy fresh vegetables, different things like that. But then they built this building, and it still looks brand new. It's been here a few years, but this is one of the most popular spots in Swansea, to get some food. And then for breakfast in Swansea, Cornerstone Bakery is where it's at. They got the best breakfast in town. So what also is great about Swansea is we have 4 ice cream places right here in Swansea. Now we have Friendly's, which is the chain restaurant across the country, and they have excellent ice cream. But we also have 3 that are unique to Swansea. And the one behind me is Eskimo King. Now, this is the one that has been my go-to one, since I was a little kid. After my Little League games, this is where my dad would take me to get an ice cream cone. And they've added so many things to their menu as far as flavors for ice cream. And I'm going to go show you the menu in a second. But soft serve ice cream, this is where it's at, Eskimo King. They also have hard ice cream, have different things on the menu, but just the amount of flavors here. Let me go show you. Yeah, this is their gourmet soft serve flavors. And just look how many are on this list. It's incredible. I couldn't even imagine trying to try all of these. And then here's their specialty sundaes. So, just so many different ones. And, just a cool place. It's right here. It's on the intersection of Market Street and Route 6, so it's not far from Route 6 at all. And then they have cool places to sit and a little playground area, for the kids. Obviously, it's closed right now, so they don't have the picnic tables out. They're usually over there, but just a nice little setting right here in Swansea. Then we have Simcock Farm, and the ice cream here is just incredible. The portion sizes, just ordering a small cone is huge. So this place for hard ice cream, excellent, highly recommended. And they usually have animals in the back. Then we have Mr. Peeper's ice cream. Now, personally, I haven't been to this one as many times as the other ones. But this one has great reviews, and it's been here a long time. So the ice cream here, I'm sure, is just as excellent, as the other places. And that brings us to the ice cream barn. Now, this place, the serving sizes are huge. There's always a line out the door. It's one of the highest rated ice cream places, in Swansea. And it's just in a beautiful setting. It's on a nice country road. And behind me, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but we got cows. So you can check out the cows, have some ice cream. They have places to sit outside. Very nice, very highly rated, very popular place. Ice cream barn right here in Swansea. So Swansea has 3 golf courses. And this is Twisted Country Club over here. And then we have Swansea Country Club. And then we have the Wampanoag Golf Course. And then we have Willaby's Billiards right here in Swansea on Route 6 also. So if you're looking to shoot some pool, here's a cool spot to hang out at. And then we have Almeida's Vegetable Patch. It's closed right now during the winter months, but in the summertime and the springtime, you can come right here to get fresh vegetables. It's kind of like a little farmer's market, right here in Swansea on Route 6. We have several banks and financial institutions too right here in Swansea. We have 2 Bay Coast banks. We have a Bank 5. We have credit unions, St. Anne's, St. Dominic's. We have Mechanics Bank. We have Bank 5, Santander Bank. I'm probably missing some, but we have several of them right here, right in Swansea. And then, of course, we have a Dollar Tree. And then what town is not complete without having its own Walmart? We have our own Walmart right here in Swansea. This is one of the top shopping destinations, in Swansea. And also, it's in the same parking lot as where the Swansea Mall used to be. So right behind me is the brand new development, that's happening where the old Swansea Mall was. So just to have, all that new development in the same parking lot, right near Walmart, this is going to be a pretty awesome destination when everything's all finished. Then as far as car repair goes, we have 2 Napa Auto Centers. This is Ron Nahas behind me. This is on Route 6. You can probably see the Target in the background there. So this is a nice location. This place is usually busy. And then they have another Napa Auto Center on the Wilbur Avenue side, as you're going down Ocean Grove, which that's not even too far from here. But you have one on this side, you have one on that road, and there's other areas, that have repair shops. These 2 I'm just going to highlight because they're very popular places. There's other ones that are good. So Swansea has a little bit of everything you might need. Also, what's nice to know is right here on Route 6, if you ever need your lawnmower repaired, they have Dave's Lawnmower Repair. And then they sell chainsaws, all different things in here. So nice to have this right here in Swansea if you ever need it. And then if you need your propane tanks filled for your grill, come over here to Columbus on Route 6. They'll fill your propane tanks. It's a gas station. They also sell kerosene. And you can get your car inspected in their garage here. And then right here in Swansea, we have a full-size furniture store, Cardi's Furniture. And I know we're talking about living in Swansea, but it's also nice to know that right on Route 6, they have the Holiday Inn Express. And this is a nice place because you never know. You might have family members that come to visit you. Maybe you don't have enough room for them to stay with you and you want them to stay at a nice place. Holiday Inn Express. This is a great place. Me and my wife, even though we live in Swansea, we actually stayed here once because we like to be adventurous. Let's check out a hotel. And we did that one night, and it was pretty nice inside here. So, this is good to have right here in Swansea. And then as far as medical care goes, we have South Coast right here in Swansea. They have Swansea Family Medicine where you can pick your primary care provider, and come see them right here in Swansea. Also, right in this building, they have physical therapy and rehabilitation services. As far as urgent care goes, your best bet is one of 2 options. So you can head to Seekonk on Route 6 in the Best Buy Plaza. They have South Coast Urgent Care. Or, you could head on Route 6 and go towards Somerset. They have the Swansea Somerset Walk-In. And that is where, you would go for urgent care. But if it's something not too serious, we also right here, in Swansea, we have a Minute Clinic at the CVS. And then right across the street, they have the East Bay Surgery Center. And they specialize in ophthalmic surgery or eye surgery. And then we have Swansea Pediatrics here. Excellent care here. And we also have a pediatric dentist here. And now there's an orthodontist here. So this little plaza right here, excellent care right here, right in Swansea. And then we have Family Dental right behind me. Then on Wilbur Avenue, we have Swansea Dental Associates. And then if you're a pet owner, we have 4 veterinary centers right here in Swansea. The one behind me is Swansea Veterinary Center. And we can speak personally to this one because me and my wife, we used to bring our cat to this facility. But there's 3 other facilities. Not to say that those aren't excellent too. It's just that we have personal experience at this one here. We also have Mass and Rhode Island Veterinary ER. And then we have Vitality Veterinary Services right here in the Target Plaza. And then they have Bay State Veterinary, which has 24-hour emergency services. And there are other companies and businesses throughout Swansea. I'm not going to name every business, but we also do have multiple barber shops. We have nail salons, we have accountants, we have a couple of gyms, we have some oil change places. So if that's all you need, if you don't need full repairs, we have some quicker oil change places. Also we have several auto parts stores. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, we have, I believe, 3 swimming pool stores. And then we also have, it looks pretty cool from the outside. I've never been on the inside, but we have Camp Bow Wow, which is like a doggy daycare. And then just back to my concept of, my hometown, that also includes the surrounding towns. Swansea residents get the benefits of these other surrounding towns. Seacock has a ton of great restaurants, so that's a great place to head to. If you're trying to figure out, where you want to have a nice sit-down dinner. There's a lot of restaurants in Seacock. They also have Seacock Speedway, where they have like weekly racing going on. And then they have some large spectator events, on the holidays, like the 4th of July, a Labor Day weekend. With the addition to the racing, they also have like a big fireworks display, a demolition derby, and other cool events. And then if you, cross over to the border to Rhode Island, which is not far at all from Swansea, they have the Bristol Parade, which is pretty cool on the 4th of July. It's the oldest parade in America, I believe. And then also over there, they have the East Bay Bike Path. And that runs from Bristol, Rhode Island to Providence, Rhode Island. And it's just a very scenic, it goes through the woods, it has water views, and it's relatively level. There's not a lot of hills. So it's good for bike riding, walking, jogging. I personally love being so close to this bike path. And the other towns have some other things too. I'm not going to, mention everything about the other towns. I probably will in future videos. I just wanted to highlight, a couple of real quick things. And now back to Swansea. Yeah, and as you can see, there's still new construction going on in Swansea. So there's definitely opportunities to get into Swansea. We have some older homes, that do go on the market that have been here for a long time. We have new construction, new developments that are underway. We also have some homes that, haven't been here too long and they go back on the market. So, a lot of opportunity here. Swansea primarily is single family residences. So you're not going to find a lot of apartments, condominiums, properties of that nature. And there's different areas of Swansea. So you have some areas that are more thickly settled. And then you have some areas down by the water on the waterfront. Those are really nice. And then you have some areas, where it's more open, and there's more land in between the homes. So it's just a matter of your preference, what you're looking for. And, I'm just going to end this video, with just some music and just take you on a tour through some of the roads in Swansea. Obviously, I'm not able to cover every single thing in Swansea. But if you have any questions, feel free. Reach out to me. Give me a call. Write me a text message. I'd be more than happy to go over anything you want to know about Swansea. Like I had said, most of my life, almost all of it, I've lived here in Swansea. So anything you need help answering, I'll do my best to answer your question. If I don't know the answer, I'll reach out to those people that'll be able to answer your question. So thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. I know this was a long video, but hopefully you found some of this information informative. And, just enjoy the rest of it as I just let it go to music and just enjoy the views and what it's like to drive down the roads through Swansea. Thank